Order of operations. The order of operations is used when solving problems because if there was not an order to follow, there would be several possible answers for the same problem. A way to remember the order of operations is a lot of people say PEMDAS. A lot of people use the sentence, "Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally." But what both of those things tell us is the order in which we need to simplify an expression. So P stands for parentheses. So when you're looking at an expression, you're going to look for parentheses first. And if there's something to do or an operation inside of the parentheses, you're going to do that first. Then you're going to look for exponents. Next, you're going to look for multiplication and division, and these are a little bit different because we're going to work those from left to right in the order in which they appear in the expression. And then addition and subtraction are similar. Again, after we look for parentheses and then exponents and then multiplication and division, we're going to look for addition and subtraction. Again, we're going to perform those operations from left to right in the order that they appear. A quick reminder on exponents. Exponents show repeated multiplication. The base is what you are multiplying, and the exponent tells you how many. So if you look at this power, we have a base of 6, and we have an exponent of 2. This can be read a couple of different ways. You could say 6 to the power 2, or the exponent of 2 has a special name, squared, so you could also read this as 6 squared. What this exponent means is that we need to multiply 2 6's together. So 6 squared is equal to 6 times 6, which is 36. The first example asks us to simplify in parentheses 9 minus 3, close parentheses squared, divided by 4. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the work in the left column and I'm going to explain what I did in the right column. This is a good way that you can use to organize your work if you would like to and make sure that you're following the order of operations. So the first thing that I notice when I'm looking at this expression is that I do have parentheses, and inside of the parentheses is 9 minus 3. So my first work step would just be simplifying what's inside of the parentheses. So 9 minus 3 is 6. Make sure that you bring everything else down the same as it appears originally. So all I've done here is 9 minus 3 is 6. Notice I brought down the squared and the divided by 4. The explanation for that step would be first perform the operation inside of the parentheses. The next thing I look for in the order of operations is exponents. If you notice, this problem does have an exponent. I have 6 to the second power, or 6 squared. So next I'm going to simplify that. Remember, 6 squared means 6 times 6, which is 36. Again, I'm not dividing by 4 yet, so I'm going to bring that down. And my explanation would be next, simplify exponents. There's only one operation left in this problem. 36 divided by 4 is 9. And the explanation for that would be, I just wrote then divide. It's the only thing left to do. Now, something that I want to point out about this problem. You are not always going to have parentheses. If you don't have parentheses, then that's okay. You're just going to move and you're going to look for exponents. You might not have exponents. If you don't have exponents, go ahead and skip that step and look for multiplication and division. So not every operation is going to be in every problem. If it's not there, simply skip to the next thing that you're looking for. The next example asks us to simplify 6 squared plus, in parentheses, 11 plus 14, close the parentheses, divided by 5. Using the order of operations, I need to look for parentheses first. In this problem, I do have parentheses, and the operation inside of the parentheses would be 11 plus 14. So my first step would be to go ahead and add 11 plus 14 because they are inside of the parentheses. I have 6 squared plus 11 plus 14 gave me 25 divided by 5. Again, notice I'm bringing everything that I did not do down exactly as it appears originally. The explanation again would be first perform the operation inside the parentheses. The next thing that we look for is exponents. Again, in this problem, I do have exponents. It's 6 squared, which means 6 times 6, which is 36. So I'm going to write 36 plus 25 divided by 5. The explanation would be next simplify the exponents. So I've done my parentheses, I've done my exponents. Now I'm going to look for multiplication and division as I work from left to right. So the first operation that I see is 36 plus 25. That's not multiplication or division, so I'm going to leave it alone for right now. The next operation would be 25 divided by 5. That is multiplication or division, so I am going to go ahead and do 25 divided by 5 is 5. Bring down your 36 plus, and the explanation would be next multiply and or divide from left to right. Now there's one operation left to do, so I'm going to go ahead and add 36 plus 5 is 41. My explanation would be the last step is to add. And the final answer for 6 squared plus parenthesis 11 plus 14 close parenthesis divided by 5 is 41. The last example, we have 15 minus in parentheses 21 divided by. Notice we have another parenthesis, 5 plus 2, and then we closed both parentheses, and that whole thing is squared. When we have parentheses inside of parentheses, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to look at the outermost parenthesis and use the order of operations for what's inside. So if you notice, I have parenthesis 21 divided by, and then another parenthesis 5 plus 2. I need to work on the innermost parenthesis first. So 5 plus 2 is 7. Bring everything else down. So I have 15 minus. Notice I kept the outer parentheses, 21 divided by 7, close your parentheses squared. The explanation is first perform the operation inside the parentheses. Because there are parentheses inside of parentheses, we're going to look at the inner ones first. And that's what I've done. I've looked at 5 plus 2, which is 7. Now I still have parentheses left, so I need another step of looking at parentheses before I can move on. This time inside of the parentheses, I have 21 divided by 7, which is 3. Bring everything else down. I have 15 minus in parentheses 3 squared. The explanation would be next simplify the outer parentheses. After parentheses, I look for exponents. Again, I do have exponents in this problem. My exponent is 3 squared, or 3 to the second power. Remember, 3 squared means 3 times 3, which is 9. So I'm going to bring down 15 minus 9. The explanation would be next simplify exponents. And now I only have one operation left, which is subtraction. So 15 minus 9 is 6. And the last step is to subtract, would be the explanation. So the final answer for 15 minus 21 divided by 5 plus 2 squared is 6.